So this highlight of LeBron James posterizing Nemanja Bjelica in 2019 just sold for $208,000 on the NBA's brand new Topshop. The company behind the development of Topshop, Dapper Labs, announced that this was the most lucrative sale in the company's history. So when I first read about this on an article of Bleacher Report, my initial thoughts were, what is going on? Somebody just paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for a virtual GIF, essentially, that any of us can just look up on YouTube and, replay as many times as we want. Is this some sort of scam? Is it some kind of, wild market speculation? So I decided to do a little research and see for myself if this was all hype or if this is a real product that can eventually gain momentum and become even bigger than the sports card market. In this video, I'm going to discuss why I believe Topshop has crazy potential to grow and why you should start investing in cards today. Before the video starts, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave your thoughts down in the comments below. With that being said, let's get into the video. So the purchase of this particular card, if you can call it that, was led by Jesse Schwartz, and it also included Bleacher Report's Adam Lefkoe. So essentially, this group of investors purchased fractional shares of this moment, this LeBron James poster moment. Immediately, this jumps out to me as one of the advantages of, Topshop compared to traditional sports cards. Even though you can technically have shared ownership of a particular, asset like a card, it just seems a lot easier to do it just virtually through Topshop, through this kind of platform. Another visceral element that I just really enjoy from looking at these cards is that you actually can really feel the life in the card, if that makes sense. You can really feel the moment as opposed to a static picture of, LeBron. You see him like actually in action. You feel his athleticism. You feel the gravity of the situation compared to regular sports cards. Furthermore, another really interesting thing that jumped out at me when reading all these articles was that the NBA and its players, which is the most important part to me, get a cut of any Topshop sale. So this kind of business model is really intriguing, not just for the collector's side, but for the player's side, which I think will incentivize promotion by the players. For example, I was watching a couple days ago, Josh Hart, he was streaming pack openings on his Twitch stream. So I can see the advertising and the marketing for these cards, and subsequently the price being a lot higher than regular sports cards, because just the hype of the internet will contribute to the price alone. Also, there's just so much more potential for the creation of more moments than there can ever be just pictures. There's eventually pictures just get boring, right? But moments, the season's always ongoing. There's always playoffs, there's different magnitudes for each game, and you'll always have a steady supply of cards, or at least content to create new cards. The other day, I actually decided to just buy the Aaron Fox card, just to see where this market goes. I feel like, for all the reasons I mentioned before, the growth potential here is huge. I spent not a crazy amount like these guys did, obviously, but a decent amount. And I don't see why, if the Aaron Fox, for example, or any young star player continues to evolve throughout their career, and, the digital side of the NBA continues to grow, why those two won't go hand in hand, and, buying in now will lead to profits or growth in your investment in the future. Just like regular sports cards, the Topshop cards come with stats, just different dynamic elements to them, but they also come with the box score of that particular game in that particular moment. So I'm not going to go into the fine details of the crypto technology or what makes each card, unique in a sense, but to sum it up kind of vaguely, each individual card has a unique serial number that is embedded into it through blockchain technology. Cards of certain serial numbers, like for example, a LeBron with a 23 or 6 serial number, would sell for a lot more than just a card of a random number. So I know I just listed a bunch of pros that Topshop has, but I also can see how people, would be kind of apprehensive And I do see some cons to the overall system, but I do think if these can be smoothed out or fixed in some way in the early stages of development, since Topshop still is in beta and not fully in alpha, that the market as a whole can become more stable in the long run. So obviously the market right now is very volatile, and the limited nature of these packs certainly doesn't help that. So the packs themselves are very cheap. It's like $9 for a pack, but the problem is there's a limited quantity, like 3,000 to 5,000 packs sold per drop. And when you think of the ROI on these, you pay $9, but then you can sell a card for like 500. Of course, people are going to line up like crazy to get these, bots included, and it's going to be hard for a regular schmo like you or me, unless you're like an influencer or you're verified in some way, to get access to these cards and actually make crazy returns like some of these other YouTubers have been talking about. Another thing that kind of has me worried is that I was reading somewhere on Reddit that the CEO of Dapper Labs has around like 17 million worth in cards in his possession, in his collection. And I don't know, it seems like having one authoritarian just market regulator, as opposed to traditional cards like at Panini, you have all kinds of different companies that make cards, could be pretty damaging for the community and card prices. I think eventually at some point the NBA or some other third party needs to step in and somehow regulate some of the early economic aspects that can be improved. But overall, I'm really excited for this new avenue to start collecting NBA merchandise. I think as the NBA promotes it more and players get more into it, it just has a lot more potential than traditional sports cards. It has a lot more liquidity. You can cash out easier, even though right now I don't believe you can actually cash out your gains. But eventually, the access to the market is a lot easier and a lot more appealing to me than the traditional sports card market. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next month or so we hear about the first $1 million purchase on Topshop. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Are you interested in this? Do you think it's going to keep growing? I certainly do. As always, thank you for watching, and look out for the next video soon. Peace.